Welcome back to another episode of Load, Shoot, and Repeat. For this week's episode, we will be going over the Canon AE-1. And this camera was actually given to me by my aunt. She was planning on tossing it or just taking it to a Goodwill because she's like, oh, we don't really use film anymore. No one really does, which is, at that time was true. I feel like it's definitely changing now. I feel like a lot more people are shooting film, which is great. But yeah, when I got it, it was pretty dirty. The bag that it was in was deteriorating. So I think it was sitting in there for a long time, and that's probably what caused it. But overall, after cleaning it and whatnot, I think this camera's in really good condition, surprisingly. It does have a lens filter that came on it that's a little busted, but there's no scratches or anything on the lens filter itself, which is great, so I can still use it. And it does come with a 50mm 1.8, which is a decent lens. But yeah, so we took it down to the rail yard here in Santa Fe and shot earlier. I think it performed pretty well, and just to not take any chances, I brought my handheld light meter, and then I used the light meter off the camera just to compare the two to see which one was closer. So I'm curious to see how those negatives turn out in that regard. Another thing about the negatives, when I did develop them, which I literally just did, all of them seem to have a line down the middle. So I'm not really sure if there was a light leak in the dark bag when I was putting the roll in the spool, or maybe the chemicals, agitation not long enough, or one of the chemicals stuck around too long. So I'm not really sure about that, and I think because I've had a couple issues now doing in-house developing for color film, I think I'm just going to send it out for these videos from now on, just so you all can see the best quality that the camera performs at. So for this video I will be posting those negatives with the lines, and I'm sorry in advance for that. But yeah, so if you stay tuned, there'll be a breakdown of the Canon AE-1, and then we'll jump over to the video and the shots. Thanks. So this is the Canon AE-1. It's equipped with the 50mm 1.8 lens. On the front of the camera, you have the battery chamber right here. And then on this side, you have the step down slide right here, and then you also have the exposure preview button right there, and then you have the backlight control right there. And then on top you have the film rewind here, so you just pop it up when you're ready to rewind your film when it's done. This is the battery check, so you push that to see if the battery's dead or not. Because there's no film in the camera, it's not going to light up, but once there's film in the camera, it will light up. So you gotta keep that in mind. And then that's also, when you have it like that, that's also for self-timer mode. So if you do need to put a timer on the camera to shoot off a tripod or something, you can do it that way. If you're just regular shooting, you just want it like that, and then you can shoot. And then if you want to lock it so the shutter can't go down, the shutter button, that's for that. So it's an L, an L, an A, and then an S. And then for the shutter speeds, it can go up to 1,000th of a second, so right there. And then it also goes all the way down to bulb mode, right there. And then to change the ASA or ISO, it's that green right there. See, right now it's on 800. If you pull this up, which, let me see if I can do it without covering it. Pull it up and then move it. There we go. See how it's moving? Yeah. So you set that to whichever ISO or ASA film you have. And then for the aperture, that's all going to be on the lens itself. This lens, it goes from 1.8 all the way up to 16. And then on the back of the camera, you have your film cover slot, so you can put what kind of film you're shooting on here to remind you when you are shooting it, so you remember the ASA or ISO. And then of course your viewfinder. And then on the bottom you have the film rewind switch, so when you're done shooting you just push that in and then you can start rewinding it. And then to open the back, you just pop this up and then it pops the back open, and then you load your film here and then just close it back up, push back down, and that's pretty much it for the Canon AE-1. So stay tuned and you will be seeing it in action. Thank you.